video is going to be a week of our real life dinners. This is done in collaboration with Megan from Pennies Salt. So I'm going to show you my dinner for tonight, Friday, right now. Now this dinner is, you can probably tell, not too fancy. You see, here's the thing. Friday is the end of our produce week. We usually go shopping on Sunday mornings for produce at market. And by Friday, we are running a little bit slim in the refrigerator. So fried rice is one of my favorite options for when you just have a bunch of odds and ends and you can make it together. So this fried rice was made from leftover carnitas, slow cooker, pulled pork, spiced up, kind of more Mexican-ish style because we'd had tacos earlier in the week. So this was a pork fried rice. I make my fried rice with 2 cups of white rice, 1 cup of brown rice, make just to cook the rice. Then I throw in onions and carrots this time. I like to do cabbage or green beans if I have them, but I did not have them. I threw an egg in it toward the end, some soy sauce, and green onions at the very end. And that's the fried rice. And then the plate I showed you was for my toddler, and he had his granada and his cheese and his pepper on it as well. And he ate everything except for he didn't really eat the granada or the pomegranate very much, so I gave it to his little brother who really loved it. And I'm not sure if babies are really supposed to eat that, but he loved it. Cyrus ate it a lot when he was like 1 year old, so I think it'll probably be okay. So, yep, that's dinner for the first night. I have no recipe for fried rice. Literally, that's the benefit of fried rice. You just have rice and vegetables and meat and a little bit of soy sauce and spices. Oh yeah, garlic. There was a lot of garlic in it. And it turns out good, although slightly different every time. So, this is supposed to be dinners of the week. But today is Monday and I did not film on Saturday or Sunday. But I can tell you what we had. Saturday we had pizza because it was Pizza Saturday, which is a long-standing tradition in our family that doesn't necessarily always happen. But usually we get together with my parents and we have pizza on Saturdays. Sometimes it's homemade. This particular Saturday it was Domino's pizza. So that's a fun tradition. Spend a little time together and have some pizza. I like pizza. I know a lot of people do. I think it tastes really good. And then Sunday, I also didn't really cook dinner. I made homemade Reese's peanut butter cups, which didn't end up exactly looking like Reese's peanut butter cups, but they tasted really good. Now you might be thinking to yourself, that's not really a dinner food, and you would be right. But we also had some like leftover chicken and rice, and some vegetables, and we had some leftover pizza. So between like a bunch of different things, it was basically a clear out the fridge kind of dinner. That's what we had for Sunday. And now for tonight, I made a beef stew in the crock pot, which is I just keep it really simple. I threw in some stew meat, chunks of beef last night to cook with some garlic and salt and black pepper and white pepper with water. Put it in the crock pot overnight. Then this morning I threw in chopped potatoes, carrots, celery, and onions. Like seriously, this is just the most classic old-fashioned beef stew ever. So we have a whole big crock pot of beef stew. Then I looked at it and it seemed like, wow, this is really a lot of stew. So then I called my parents and invited them over. So we'll have that for dinner tonight. And some guests, some family. Share the food. All right. Be careful, buddy.
Hi, Mama.
Hi. All right, today is Tuesday. And I've got a very typical dinner here, which is a stovetop dinner. We don't have an oven, so I've got my stovetop here with, this is like a spicy soy sauce chicken. It's just chicken with a whole bunch of onions cut into long strips and stir fried with soy sauce, honey, red pepper, chili flakes, black pepper, white pepper, all that good stuff to make it spicy. There's the chicken, and then for our veggie, we have green beans and carrots, shredded carrots. This turns out a little bit differently every time. I've got some onions and garlic in this, also a little bit of turmeric. Probably could have added more, but I didn't want the kids to turn totally neon yellow when you're feeding turmeric to a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. There's our veggie, and I've got rice in the rice cooker. For those who don't live in Asia, you might think having a appliance just for rice is a little bit of overkill. But when you just have a stovetop with a couple burners, you don't necessarily want to use a whole burner just for cooking rice. And when you eat rice fairly frequently, which is pretty normal over here, having a appliance for rice is really nice. Nice. So yep, and my rice is, can't see it, but it is 2 cups. They're not the real measuring cup, it's like the little rice cup, measuring cup. 2 cups of white rice to 1 cup of brown rice. And that's how I just typically always do it. And once this is done, then we'll be ready for dinner. Okay, today is Wednesday, and for dinner tonight, we're having omelets, which is my favorite version of breakfast for dinner. Got the scrambled eggs mixed with milk and salt here, and then tomatoes, pepper, cheese, and onions there. So, like those. I'll have to just do 2 rounds for my husband and me, and then we'll share our omelets with the littles. Here's my little kitchen assistant watching me semi-patiently. Hey, buddy. What? Where are you? Alright, and now it's Thursday. This is the last day of my week of meals here. I'm doing something a little bit different. This is my air fryer, which I won as a kind of prize in some like scavenger hunt fundraiser that we did maybe 4 years ago now. And it's actually been at my parents' house most of the time since we've got it. We've used it a good bit, or they've used it a good bit there. I brought it up here because they weren't using it so much anymore. I wanted to try using it. And we're gonna have potatoes, which I rubbed them with oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And we're gonna have chicken, which I'm gonna be putting in the air fryer. And I just marinated it with lime juice, some oil, chili powder, garlic, minced garlic, and chili flakes. And I chopped up some onions into really big pieces and threw them in there as well. So both of these are going to be cooked in the air fryer. I'm going to cook the potatoes first, and then when they're done, I'm just going to put them in like a pot on my stove to keep them warm. I don't have an oven, so that's my usual just kind of keep it semi-warm strategy, and I can at least heat it up in the pot. But for me, an air fryer is not so much the equivalent of a deep fryer, at least from my experience. It seems to me more the equivalent of a tiny oven or a tiny grill, which I don't have an oven, I don't have a grill. So this kind of, to me, it kind of accomplishes at least something similar of what you could do with roasted potatoes or roasted marinated chicken in like a grill. So this model, I'm guessing, is probably kind of old, maybe not sold, but I can link a similar model down below in the description if you're interested in air fryers at all. They are interesting. I don't know if I would have gone for it if I hadn't just won one. But it's interesting to have a different way to cook things. So there's our potatoes and our chicken, and it's getting to be the end of the week again, and I don't have a lot of produce anymore for an official like super legit vegetable, but I do have a whole bunch of cherry tomatoes. So we are going to have cherry tomatoes as a side, and I love cherry tomatoes, and my son loves cherry tomatoes. So that would be a good option. I mean, I guess you could cook cherry tomatoes, but why? They taste delicious as is, so I'm not going to. So that will be dinner. I've also got some sliced up green bell pepper. So I'll add that on as a veggie. My husband and my son like that. I don't like it, but they can have the bell pepper. And I'll try to show you what this looks like when it's done. And here's the final result. The potatoes took about 25 minutes in the air fryer. And they're nice and soft. The chicken took about 13 minutes. It was small pieces of chicken. I think it would have been nicer if it was strips. But they cooked up nice and good, and the onions are slightly burned the way my husband likes them. So this is the last meal of a week of dinners. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to our channel, 7 in All, for more from our family. Bye!